makes and deals, and this is grounded up the middle. Hernandez fields it behind the bag, steps on the base, throws the first. Another double play, the fourth of the night. Hey California, welcome to In the Den, your inside look with the Fresno Grizzlies. I'm Tim Slack. Well, we're really excited to share Independence Day with you, and our fireworks extravaganza is on tap. It's sure to be a good time. If you don't have your tickets yet, we're going to convince you why you need to before the end of this episode. But today I'm going to talk to Tommy Hopfe, the Grizzlies utility man from Fresno State. See how he's adjusting to his new role in professional baseball, get to catch up with him, see how special of a place the Valley is to the switch hitter from Bakersfield. Plus, we're going to take a look back at the Grizzlies week against the Stockton Ports with highlights. We have some new food debuting this week at Chukchansi Park, both in the suites and in the concession stands. You're not going to want to miss that. Plus, I get to sit down with Steve Soliz. We'll check out what the former Grizzlies manager is now doing with the Colorado Rockies. So let's check in with Steve Soliz. Welcome back to In the Den, your inside look at the Fresno Grizzlies, and a guy who has been synonymous with Grizzlies baseball since the Colorado Rockies came to Fresno, Steve Soliz.
All right, thanks for having me. It's always nice to be back at the Chuck.
Well, I was going to say, I mean, you've been full-time with the Grizzlies since the Rockies came to be an affiliate here. Is it a little bit different first time back, not being the manager, not being the bench coach?
It's not a little bit different. It's a lot different. You know, it's basically, as a catching coordinator now, you know, you're kind of focused narrowly on just one position. So as a manager, you know, you start thinking about the game the night before, the morning you wake up, go to breakfast, and I'm probably walking in the stadium at 11 o'clock in the morning as a manager. Now, as a visitor, so to speak, and a catching coordinator, I rolled in the field today at 12. Not a worry in the world. I know what my two drills I'm gonna do with the catches are, and enjoy a baseball game without, I shouldn't say without thought, but without the in-depth thought that I would have as a manager.
Maybe without the heart murmurs,
yeah,
right?
Yeah. Actually, 2 days ago, and I don't want to bring up a bad game, but you know, we got beat 17 or it was 17-3 or whatever it was.
Yeah, we'll go.
And I walked over to Cesar Galvez during the game and sat next to him, and I said, "Hey, these are the games that keep you up at night, huh?" And he goes, "What do you mean?" I go, "Yeah, these are the games as they're happening. You're thinking about tomorrow and the next day with your pitching. How am I going to get through this?" So the heart murmurs, all that stuff, yeah, it's those games that keep you up at night. The good, close ones, you know, the hard-fought battles where you either win or lose, but the game's tight, those are what you live for.
You left a big mark when you were here, and people really value you within this.
Depends on who you talk to. But
in the community, both of those.
Yeah.
What do you miss about Fresno?
I miss a lot. You know, it's funny when you're here for 4 years, and you know, like you said, you just get so engulfed in what you're doing, player development. You know, I golf a lot, so you know, I've been golfing here. But then you come back. You know, I landed on the plane. I got my rental car, driving to the stadium, and I'm like, just all these like memories come back. You know, stuff that like, you know, I hate to say, like, you know, I don't like to take anything for granted, but just, you know. The guy at the front, you know, opening the gate, the big hello, you know, the smile you see on everybody's face. And, you know, I walk in here and you two guys, you know, I see you guys for the first time. I saw Julian Banda, the visiting clubby, who, you know, I always saw every day, but I got a hug and it was a little extra tight. And so little things like that mean a lot. You know, outside of the field, you know, I made it a point yesterday to go to Uncle Harry's because I love my bagels and went to Uncle Harry's. This morning I went with another good friend, Dan Taylor. We went to Batter Up Pancakes. So
there you go.
I'm hitting all the spots that I normally would. But I miss the people, you know, the fans. There's a group of fans that come sit over the first or third base dugout that I saw yesterday, gave them a wave. So just all the familiar faces. You know, on field, off the field, I really grew to enjoy and love Fresno, and I'm happy to be back.
I was going to ask you about food spots, so you jumped the spot there. I think that's great. You talked about moments. Is there anything that aside from, you know, the nostalgic, the day-to-day of the job, but in terms of the uniqueness of the Grizzlies in Fresno, you know, we do the tacos, we do the low riders, obviously 4th of July. Is there any of those moments over the 4 years that you were here that stand out?
Well, I think, you know, when you're talking about 4th of July, we just did a little promo shot on that. First of all, the front office here, it's second to none. Like whether it's, you know, and the first thing I can think about is my first, induction into, you know, just meeting with Bailey or Derek, and they were like, hey, you know, they were used to being AAA ballpark here, a AAA team. And he's like, hey, I know we're A-ball now, but we're going to treat it as if it was AAA. And they've hit the ground running. So I do appreciate all the perks, the day-to-day, you know, of how they treat not just coaching staff, players, but the auxiliary staff. It's a great environment to be in. So when you talk about just memories, it's just, you know, just walking in the door and sitting in my well, what used to be my manager's seat, and just having everyone walk in and just having that relation to know that, hey, we all in our own special way are doing our part to keep this thing moving forward and put a good product on the field. And because of that, we've had a couple good years, and we didn't make the playoffs the last couple of years, but we've had a good in terms of wins and losses, and fans seem to enjoy themselves. And like I said, I do, you know, we're talking about food. David, the grounds crew, is absolutely one of the best cooks around. So I do miss those Friday nights. He's like, hey, I'm cooking, and the game would be over. We'd shower up and we'd go hang out in his garage with all the equipment he uses to keep this field in a great spot. And we'd have some tacos and stuff. And the best way I could put it is, you know, it's a work, but it's like family. You know, it's like your work family. And so those are the things, you know, I remember and I miss. But I also, you know, as we get back on the field, I miss the times of, you know, we had a team a couple years ago, I think it was 23, that was kind of hemming and hawing around 500, and we weren't sure, you know, how good we were going to be. And I said, guys, as sure as I'm standing here, you keep with this program that we're doing, you keep the discipline, show up every day, we're going to take off. And that team ended up, I don't know, close to 30 games over 500. So although we didn't make the playoffs, it was a successful season. So those little things I miss, along with all the stuff off the field.
Well, you say that, and just one update on your role with the Rockies. You said you're catching coordinator, catching instructor. You enjoying that right now?
Absolutely. You know, it's what I've done prior to managing. You know, I was with all my years with the Angels, I was the bullpen coach, but I always did catching. So I was always catching and information. So that was kind of like my home, you know, the behind the plate. That's what I did as a player, and it's what my, you know, area of quote unquote expertise would be as a coach. Then, you know, I went on to manage, and I love that too. It's a different challenge. But back, full circle moment, back to being the catching coordinator, it's a different excitement. You know, like when you come as a manager, you get a thrill in saying, like, how can I keep this ship sailing in the right direction, whether I, you know, utilizing your coaches and that. So there's an excitement in that, you know, the excitement in the game and how we can manage a game. This is a different type of excitement. You come, you get to work hands-on with a couple players. You get to watch them play in a game and kind of, so to speak, as much as I can, you know, just zero in on home plate. You know, I'm just watching them. So the celebrating the little successes that they have, you know, whether it be just, you know, learning how to get outside a ball and bring it back down plate to receive and keep a strike, or sometimes, you know, make a ball a strike. You see that. Yesterday we had a pop-up that, you know, we're going to do some pop-up prior today, but just talking through the mechanics of each fundamental where we play pop-ups, and then you go out and watch them play a game and they actually do it. So there's an excitement in that. So love what I'm doing. Love that I'm back home, you know, doing the catching, and more so, you know, personally speaking, the job, you know, I travel twice a month as opposed to being here all the time.
Sure.
It's allowing me to be a dad at home. I got a little 8-year-old little girl. I get to see her more. I was just in Rhode Island to watch her do her gymnastics nationals event. I was in Palm Springs, watch her dance. These are things that I never would have been able to do before. So I'm grateful for the opportunity, to get back to my home, so to speak, catching, but then also be able to be a dad for my little girl. So it's been a win-win.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I would think I speak for a lot of people when I say we're grateful for the impact that you've had on the Grizzlies and the Rockies organization and just here in Fresno. And I'm grateful for your time today.
Oh, I appreciate it. Now, you know what? I'm equally as grateful for the impact that Fresno and the Grizzlies has had on me. So that goes without saying. I mean, I wanted to go without, you know, without being unnoticed, because I do appreciate the environment that's here, and then walking in and seeing somebody, like you said, you know, you leave a mark or whatever, but see the effect that either you had or realize the effect that the people around here have had on me. So I'm grateful as well.
Well, we're glad to have you, Steve Soliz. Thanks again to Steve Soliz for taking time out to let us know a little bit more about his role with the Colorado Rockies and share some insights on the current coaching staff here in Fresno. Well, if you want some insights on what to expect this weekend for 4th of July, we have some great new food items that I was lucky enough to be able to dig into this week. One of my favorite things about it in the den is the chance to show off our new food, and we have a couple of items that just launched this past weekend when the Grizzlies hosted the Stockton Ports. But don't worry, you can get your hands on them the rest of the season, beginning with the 4th of July when the Modesto Nuts come into town. So 2 new options in the sweets. We have the potato skins. A basket will feed 6 people, just $20. I think these are going to go pretty fast. Obviously, it comes with all the fixins and a side of sour cream. Then we have the jalapeno poppers with a side of ranch, another great fix, easy ballpark food, and we're excited to be able to offer those in the suite. But don't worry if you're not in the suites, there are still great items coming to the concession stand this weekend, and they start with one of my favorite. Red, white, and blue? How about black and blue? The new burger, which you can upgrade now to a side of tots, or you can get the sides individually with a cup of cheese. But the black and blue burger with a brioche bun, strips of bacon, lettuce, tomato, onion, and of course, blue cheese crumbles. Honestly, it is my favorite kind of burger. Can't wait to dig into that. Plus, in the concession stands, we're going to have a buffalo chicken sandwich, now with the peppercorn ranch sauce and served on a King's Hawaiian roll. All these 3 you can get in the concession stands now starting on July 4th. Can't wait to show off some of these great food items that we're adding to the menu here at Chuck Chansey Park. Perfect night for baseball in downtown Fresno, and a perfect night to be back at home as the Fresno Grizzlies welcome in the Stockton Ports. So the leadoff guy aboard, and now Luis Freitas chops one to short. Moving to his right, Hidalgo goes to second for one. Hernandez turn, picked by Fitzer for the double play. This 5th inning here against this batter, 2-2, and he does. Great pitch, diving down and away. There's the changeup, swung on and missed. 3rd strikeout for Catlett. 2-2 pitch. McDeach deals, and it's lined into center field. Sinking down in front of Pineda. Hidalgo got a good jump coming around 3rd. It's a 2-run single for Collaz, and the Grizzlies take the lead in the 5th. Reyes off first, Bernard off 3rd. Restituto's first pitch lined over the head of Andrade and into center field. Reyes racing around second. Pineda's throw to 3rd is late. Up to second goes Hopfe. It's an RBI knock, and the Grizzlies extend the lead to 3-1. 2-2 pitch. And this is lined up the middle. Another hit for Fitzer, his 4th of the night. Into center field it goes. Wright will come around and score. Here's Derek Bernard. And he hammers this deep into right center. This ball's crushed. Palakaye! 3rd homer of the season for Bernard. Pitch from Thalen. This is served to first. Fitzer's there, and fittingly, Fitzer makes the catch. It's a glorious Tuesday night. The Grizzlies are victorious. This one final as Fresno takes the series opener 10-1. Angel Jimenez will make his debut as the Ports come to downtown Fresno for the 2nd time this year. Count pitch. Jimenez winds and delivers, and it's a fastball fanned at 96 above the zone. And Angel Jimenez has his first Grizzlies strikeout, and it's the first batter he faces. 1-1 pitch. And Hernandez serves it into left center field, down for a hit. Castillo being waved around 3rd. He will score. Rainier Hernandez has a 2-hit, 2 RBI night. 1-1. Grounded to the left side and through. Into the outfield. 2nd hit of the night for Wright will bring Tenna home. Grizzlies have their 4th run of the night. And that will do it. Final score, Stockton beats Fresno tonight 18-4 as the Grizzlies fall for just the 2nd time in the 2nd half. Beautiful night for baseball in downtown Fresno, Game 3 of a 6-game series between the Stockton Ports and the Fresno Grizzlies. Cox winds and deals, and it's a swing and a miss. Chased it up and out of the zone. A breaking ball darting down and away, and Cox starts this one with a strikeout. Will deliver. Hidalgo bluffs, and Hernandez rakes it down the right field line. It's going to fall for a base hit. It'll roll to Pineda, who will turn and throw to second. Nobody was there. Hernandez has a double. Hidalgo stops at third. The 1-0 pitch from Gene, and Bernard lifts one high into center field. This sends Pacheco back sprinting to the warning track at the wall. It's gone! Off the batter's eye in center field. The 4th homer for Derek Bernard this year, and the needed blast that the Grizzlies were looking for. Cox from the stretch, ground ball to third. Right, fields it on a hop to Hernandez for one. The turn, in time, double play. 1-2 pitch. Gene deals again. This ball sprayed down into left field. They're waving around Reyes. Leary's throw cut off, and it's a 2-run single for Roynier Hernandez. And there goes Reyes. Good jump. Pitch down and in. Franco has no shot, and Reyes steals second. To Espinal. There goes Reyes again. It's a called strike. Franco couldn't get it out of his glove, and Reyes steals third. Wanted 2 guys to reach against Morris. The 2-2 pitch. Morris from the line. Fastball chased up and out of the zone. 4 strikeouts for Zach Morris. 0-1 pitch is chopped to the left side. Hidalgo into the hole. Gloves it. Throws to first. Fitzer holds the base and gets the out, and that's a final. It's a glorious Thursday night. The Grizzlies are victorious. Fresno beats Stockton 5-3. Fireworks Friday night on tap, and a fireworks crowd getting settled in on emo night. As Blake Wright tags one deep into right field. This is a long run for Freitas, and he's not going to get there. It drops on the warning track and deadens. Blake Wright's rounded second. He's going to third. Naylor's relay throw is just late, and it's a leadoff triple for Blake Wright. This season, Miller's first pitch shot through the left side, a base hit, and in to score is Blake Wright. Bernard cashes in the run. It's 1-0 Fresno in the second. One bounce to the right side. Naylor to his left, fields and has it, and that is out number 3 in the 9th, and this one is finals. Well, it's heating up again in downtown Fresno, and the Fresno Grizzlies are hosting the Stockton Ports for the 5th game of a 6-game series. Keep the double play in order. 1-0 pitch. Ground ball to second. Hernandez stays down, flips to Hidalgo for one. The turn in time. Double play. Grizzlies just keep doing it. That is their 64th double play this year. Stewart kicks in deals, and Espinal lifts a high fly ball deep into left center field. Back is Pineda. He will watch it go. Onto the berm and gone for Espinal. Second professional home run. He hit one last week. 0-1 pitch. Claus tags one into right center field. Long run tailing away from Pineda. He won't get there. It bounces off the iron off his side in center field, and Pineda had a hard time picking it up. Claus will cruise into third, standing up, and holds the base with a leadoff triple. To the plate, 2 outs, and nobody on. Grizzlies with a 3-run lead, and he charges one deep into center. Pineda back. Pineda at the wall. It's gone! Right over the 400-foot marker, off of the batter's eye, and out of here. Hernandez turns the 1-2 down the right field line, and there's a lot of real estate. It's going to roll up against the John Deere sign. Hidalgo cruising around third. He's going to score. Hernandez around second. Andrade's relay is off the mark. Hernandez with a head-first dive and an RBI triple. 10-0 Grizzlies. A 5-run 5th inning. 2-1 pitch is chopped towards third. Another chance. Right fields it. Throws to second for one. Hernandez turn in time. Double play. Third double play of the night. And all 3 base runners for Stockton have been erased so far. And he grounds one. Broken bat. Softly to second. Fielded by Hernandez. Throws to first. And that will do it. It's a glorious Saturday night. The Grizzlies are victorious. One of the most complete efforts of the season from Fresno. The final game in June is the final game of a 6-game series between the visiting Stockton Ports and the Fresno Grizzlies. 2-2 pitch from Herrera, and this is bounced up the middle. A high chopper. Hernandez going to field step on the base at second, throw to first in time. Double play. One pitch, and he drives this one into center field. A sinking line drive that will drive in a run and get the Grizzlies on the board. Zano kicks in, deals, and this is tagged into right center field, deep into the corner, into the gap. It is off of the warning track, and it skips on the wall. Hinderleiter waving around second. He's going to third. Naylor's relay throw, late. Leadoff triple for Jacob Hinderleiter in the bottom of the ninth. Nobody out. Down to run, and Clifford lines it up the middle. A base hit. Hinderleiter in to score. It's a tie game in the bottom of the ninth. To get the out, 2-1 to Hernandez. This is driven into right center field. Tie game, and it's going to roll. Hernandez will stop at first. We're tied at 4 as Roy Nearez is third hit of the game. One pitch to Fitzer. Manzano delivers. Fitzer taps it to short. Charging in Sprague-Lott. Fields throws wild. Hernandez scores. Grizzlies walk it off again. And they take the series 5-4. Well, that's how the Grizzlies did this week, but a key part of the Grizzlies team this year has been a Fresno State product in Tommy Hopfe. I had a chance to catch up with him earlier this week, get his thoughts on his new role and his excitement for 4th of July weekend. Welcome back to In the Den, and we're in the Grizzlies clubhouse as we're getting ready for 4th of July week. A lot of busyness, and one guy who's been a staple of the Grizzlies lineup that you're going to be able to see when the Grizzlies host the Modesto Nuts this weekend, starting on Friday night, will be Tommy Hopfe. Fresno State product from Bakersfield. You have now had half a season after making your pro debut as a Fresno Grizzly, but has there been a tradition for you, an adjustment for you in life outside of just adjusting to the professional game?
I mean, the adjustment of life is the exact same, to be honest with you. I'm living in the exact same town I've been in the last 4 years, so I don't think anything life-wise has changed. Obviously, the baseball side of things has changed. I'm playing 6 games instead of 4 every week, so that's a little different on the body, and then obviously just trying to stay neutral with the mind. But other than that, everything's honestly about the same as it was the last 4 years.
Well, one thing that wasn't the same, you had a home run off of a big leaguer a couple of weeks ago in Stockton on the rehab. 5 home runs on the season. You have been preparing to be in the lineup every day. You've also been preparing to be versatile in the outfield and the infield. I know you did some catching in spring training. And you're a switch hitter, so you do twice the batting practice as most people. What is that preparation been like for you, and what was the adjustment period to be like, hey, I got to get a little bit of time everywhere?
Yeah, I think the adjustment thing, honestly, the biggest for me has just been working the infield. Obviously at school, I only played first, and that's not really anything serious. Being more in a primary position like second, I have to, really be locked in every inning. So it's a lot more work infield-wise, working on the hands every day. And then there's for sure a lot more rehab I have to do on the body. Obviously doing a little more body-wise. The arm feels a lot better than it did in college. I don't have to pitch anymore, so that's really nice. But other than that, it's just trying to stay neutral with it, try to stay healthy, make sure you're in the training room every day, and just try to keep a clear mind, honestly, regardless of how things are going.
I've noticed a little bit different throwing motion at second base from you. Have first basemen said you got to tone it down? You can't be coming out with the closer mentality on throws?
Honestly, I have no idea about that. If it's changed, it's purely accidental.
Okay. So you talk about preparation, you talk about just playing all the spots. Who has helped you adjust to the infield more than anything else?
Galby's got a lot to do with it, obviously. Being in spring training with him, I was kind of on him about helping me get better and be, not just such a liability over there at second. So he's been a big help with me, helping me along those lines. And then Doug Bernier, our infield coordinator, has been a big one for me, helping me. And then it's the day-to-day. Obviously, all of our coaches that are hitting the fungos during BPs, I have to give them praise. And I don't know, they've helped me out a lot to, hopefully be a better infielder along the way.
Well, I know a lot of people in the Valley look up to you, have watched you play since high school, have watched you play at Fresno State, and are thrilled you're here. When you've seen these big home crowds, we had a big one opening night, we had a big one Star Wars night, we're expecting big attendance for 4th of July on Friday. What has that done for you? And knowing that there's a lot of Fresno State hats in the crowd and people who are supporting Tommy Hopfe.
Yeah, I mean, it means a lot. You know, anytime I see a Fresno State hat, I'm always going to show some love. So make sure you get out there, wear your Fresno State hats. But it means a lot. You know, there's a lot of people that I have supporting me, you know, regardless of not even family. You know, there's people in this local valley that have supported me throughout the way. They've shown their love the entire way. And that's something I'm extremely grateful for, and I can't show enough love for it.
Made your debut last year after 4th of July, got drafted after 4th of July, all that stuff. But you've heard about it. You excited for a big crowd and a big atmosphere for that game? For sure. It's going to be exciting. You know, playing in front of fans is always the best. You know, it's a great atmosphere. And the hits mean a little more. You know, the outs mean a little more. Regardless, it's the same game, but the vibes are different. It's a little more exciting. So it's always fun to play in front of that. Well, and even, you know, this show, we have the clip at the beginning of your home run opening night and just the buzz in the crowd and everybody feeling like you're part of that, right? Like that story, your time in the Valley. Looking forward to the second half of the season. Where's your area for growth? What are you focused on in terms of getting better and just making that next step forward? I mean, it's just staying with the process of things. I trust my abilities, you know, and not trying to wave away from that or change anything. Just keep doing what I'm doing, and hopefully those hits start to fall and not go in the gloves, you know. Well, it's fun to watch you. It's fun to get to talk to you. Tommy, really do appreciate the time. Thank you. Thank you for having me. That'll do it for this week's episode of In the Den. Once again, a special thanks to Steve Soliz, our friends at PSC, for all the great food and the inside look at that. And Tommy Hopfe for taking time out of his preparation to let us know how he's doing. Next week, the Grizzlies will start the week at Modesto, but Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, it's 4th of July weekend, and we can't wait to see you at Chuck Chansey Park. Hope to see you out at the park this weekend where it's going to be a great time. On behalf of the Fresno Grizzlies, I'm Tim Slack.